Hi there. This is our second session, and we're going to speak about career paths and clusters. And I've been asked to share with you a little bit about my career and the jobs I've had in my life and how I got to where I am. This is going to be an interesting conversation because my career path has been all over the place. And the reason for that is I never really spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I should have. I love what I do. I think it's a lot of fun, but I'm not sure how or why I really got to where I am because I never had a plan. And I really think that when you have a plan and you think about your future, you're much more likely to accomplish what it is that you want to do. That said, my very broad and adventurous background has made it easy for me to get the job I want when I go after it. So there's two sides to this, right? There's this idea of really knowing what you want to do and going straight for it and hoping it works out. And there's also the, I'm going to get a whole bunch of experiences and figure it out and just keep pushing for where I want to go. Either way is okay. But I think it's really smart to think up front about what you believe you might want to do when you grow up. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to have your teacher pause the video after I ask the question so you can take a minute and think about it before we move on. So the question is, I'm going to ask you two questions and then we'll pause the video. The first question is, and I want you to think about this, maybe write it down. The first question is, if you could be anything, if you could do any job when you grow up, what would it be? If you're not sure because you don't know all the jobs that are out there, nobody does, just come up with something that's close. Then what I want you to write down is if you can't get the first job that your dream job, then what's your second choice? What is the next thing that you would want to do? So go ahead and take a minute, teacher, if you could pause the video, and students are first, I want you to write down your dream job or something close to it that you think you want to do. And then I want you to write down what your plan B is or your second choice. All right, go. All right, welcome back, everybody. So you've had a chance to write those two things down. And I think that's a great start. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to keep those beside you. And as you go through the rest of our junior achievement program and you move through school, keep thinking about what it is you want to do. Because you don't always get the first choice, but sometimes you can get pretty close. And so here's an example. This is kind of what my life has been. I have always had at least one job since I was 14 years old. And I'm 40 right now. And so when I was 14, I was hired by the YMCA to be a soccer referee. And I had volunteered to be a soccer referee for 2 years with my dad. I was on the field with him and he was teaching me before I got that first job. So I got a job as a soccer referee the day I turned 14 years old. And from there, I went on and I would referee basketball. And when the kids about your age would play their games, I was the person keeping score and giving first aid and all of those other things. And I did that at the YMCA for a number of years and in high school. And then I eventually actually went and started, while I still had the job at the Y, because almost my entire life I had anywhere from 1 to 3 jobs at a time, and it's still true right now. I worked at my high school filling the soda machines and the snack machines on the weekends. So I would go into the school at 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning as a high school student and fill snack machines and soda machines and count money and order all the new stuff for all the other students in the school. I also did odd jobs. So I did yard work for people when I was in high school as well. I would help people paint at their houses. I would help people work on their cars because I was good at that. And then towards the end of my time in high school, I actually got a job repairing vacuum cleaners. That was a dirty, dirty job. The pay was good, but it was disgusting. And I do not recommend that you do it if you don't have to do it. But what was interesting is in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I got older. I was just always told, go to college. And college isn't always the right choice depending on what you want to do. So I went to college to be a teacher because I was good at school, and that just seemed like the logical thing to do. So I got to college. I got a part-time job there as a security guard. So I did security in the dorms overnight. So I would work from 10 at night until 2 in the morning during the week, and from 10 at night until 4 in the morning on the weekends. When I came home from school on my winter breaks, I would work at Toys R Us overnight, stocking the shelves for Christmas. And I still worked at the vacuum cleaner store during that time. And so I did those jobs all through college. In college, in the summer, I had a job working in Maryland where I would take kids about your age, middle school age mostly, into the forests in Maryland to go camping for a week at a time. And I would teach them how to whitewater raft, rock climb, hike, kayak, all of those really kind of cool activities. So I lived in a tent in the summer. And when I finished high school, or when I finished college, I still wasn't sure if I wanted to be a teacher, but I had a degree in teaching. And so what I did is I went back to school. I continued, went to start my master's degree. Still wasn't sure if I really wanted to be a teacher or not. So I thought I'd try some other stuff. And I dropped out of college, out of grad school after the first year. And I went and I worked at a nuclear power plant, ordering parts for a nuclear reactor. And I did that for a few months and I decided I hated it. And so while I was there, I actually started a business with my friend of mine. It was called Return to Nature. And we did kayak trips. And so I had a job running a business, taking people out kayaking, and I loved it. It was fantastic. I decided I needed to finish school. So I went back and finished my master's degree. I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do, if I wanted to be a teacher or not. So I took some more time off. I took 9 months and I backpacked around the world and just did all kinds of different things and met different people. I tried to find myself, and I came back and still had my business. I lived in a tent for 3 months at Killens Pond State Park in the campground. I volunteered my time and they gave me a free place to live. And I ran my business and while I lived out of a tent. And then I decided to just get a job as a teacher and see if I actually would like teaching or not. So I got a job as a high school social studies teacher. I did that for about 3.5 or 4 years. And then I got a new job at the high school and I helped create a 9th grade academy there. I did that for about 3.5 or 4 years. And then I actually left that job because I just got bored and I wanted to do something different. And so I got a job at Delaware State Parks running all of the programs for the state park system, as well as customer service and a few other things. I did that for 4 years and that was a lot of fun. But while I was there, I also had a job in the winter working for DelDOT, driving a snowplow and giving the SAT and the ACT on the weekends to students. When about 1.5 years ago, I left Delaware State Parks and I came to my job here at the Delaware Department of Education. And I really enjoy this job. I still work other jobs. I still drive the snowplow. I still give the SAT and the ACT. And I still, in the winter, I work overnight, sometimes decorating malls for Christmas. It's a really long way of telling you, I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do in the future, right? So like, I'm still in education, which I thought I wanted to do all along. And there's been education through almost all of my work experiences, but I'm not teaching anymore, but I'm still in education, which is okay. I'm still in a spot that I like. I don't think I'll do this forever. I'll probably do this for a few more years and I'll want a new challenge and I'll go do something else. But I'm always trying to think about what I want to do next. And so I'll share with you, I think what I want to do, I don't know if I'll do it, but what I think I want to do is to be responsible for giving money away. So I want to take money from big companies who have to donate money, and I want to help them find the right charity or find the right program and basically help give money away for good causes. That's what I think I want to do in my heart down the road. But right now I'm doing something that I love. And so what I do and what works well for me is every few months I sit down and I think about what will really make me happy. Where do I want to do it? How am I going to get there? And I start moving in that direction. And so right now I'm happy. I'm able to support my family. We don't have everything we want, but it's a good life. And so, right, all that craziness got me to where I am now, a spot where I'm really happy. I've been happy along the way. I stay there until I'm ready for something else. And when I get tired of doing what I'm doing now, I'll find something cool and exciting that brings me happiness and helps me pay the bills, and I'll go do that. And that's okay. But what I want to reinforce for you all, it's okay that right now you might not know what you want to do. You might have an idea. As you get older, keep figuring out what you think you want to do and how you're going to get there. Get people to help you. Don't worry about it, but you should always be thinking about it. Because what's most important in all of this are two things. That you find something that you love to do because you're going to be at work a lot. And two, that the thing that you love provides you enough money that you can live comfortably without needing to worry about certain things. So if you can solve those two things, it doesn't matter what you do. All that matters is that you're doing something that you love and you're able to do it, and it's making society better. So I hope you have a good journey discovering what your career path is going to be. I hope you enjoy it along the way. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to do a job that you hate and then go do something else. Find a space where you're going to be happy and you're going to be satisfied, and go enjoy the heck out of it. Have fun. Hope you land in one of those two things you picked. And if not, I hope you land somewhere that puts a smile on your face.